Video the other day, and like a lot of my videos, I don't even put them on. This is one of my worm bins, and what I was getting at is I started using a lot more organic matter. That's my dog. A lot more organic matter and mulching, particularly with oak leaf, because, well, let's face it, I got a ton of them with all these trees around here. So, and I noticed with I even got like pistachio shells in here, so I use a little bit of everything. There's the acorn tops, little sticks, acorns that are, wormholes, worm eaten or whatever. And so all that stuff breaks down in there, but see this, there's worms right up to the surface, just under the leaf cover. Here, let me go over around. There you can see one moving over here. They're right up to the surface, right under those leaves. And the roots come up a lot. There they are, see, look at that. Just under the leaf cover. They're right up to the surface. The surface doesn't dry out nearly as much either, but just to, see there, look at that. Little baby worms right there. And yeah, so I started using a lot more leaf mulch and leaf in, and just keep throwing more on there. It does mulch down too. It does compost in, and the worms really kind of like it. So, and you're going to get a lot of mycorhizal fungal growth from that too. So I say the more the merrier. There's some corn silk and stuff. Worms love that too. Oh yeah, I reached in here the other day and pulled out just a big old, yeah, look at that. I think there's no worms in there. I'm just scratching the surface. Oh, there's a couple up at the surface. This thing is like solid worms. This is probably one of my best worm bins. Yeah, if I need any worms, this is where I go. I just take a little handful out of there, and there's a couple hundred worms. Here, let me grab another little. Yeah, see, they're just solid worms in there. I haven't stirred this up in a while. Yeah, they're just loaded in there. But yeah, I feed this pretty good, and they're usually, I threw the celery in there. I think it's taken root pretty good. It's been in there for about 2 weeks. Yeah, it's definitely got roots on it. But yeah, don't be afraid to mulch, and just throw some leaf on there, a little extra bug in there, whatever. Totally organic, man. That's how they like it. Oh, this stuff is so gooey down in there too. That is some really rich stuff. I just pull a little bit of that out like that and just toss it in another little herb pot there and water that. But yeah. Oh, and then let's see what I got going on in here. This is some fungally dominant compost with wood and what have you, high carbon. I was trying to get some, ooh yeah, look at that, there's some fungus growing in there. I haven't monitored or been keeping this really moist, but yeah, that's pretty dry. That's corn over there. This is pretty moist. I did notice before, oh yeah, look at all the worms under there. Holy cow. Yeah, look at them trying to get up into the bag. So, they definitely like the fungus a little bit. See if there's any here. Oh yeah, they've migrated in there, definitely. Oh, this is all rotted wood, so it's like just, I can just crumble it, nothing to it. Very spongy, and they seem to like that. Again, you gotta have a mix. You gotta have everything in there. Yeah, there's quite a few worms in there. They're doing pretty good. And yeah, most of those just migrated in there from the holes in the bottom of the bag. And that's some of my no-till mix. A lot of rice hull in there. And actually, I need some more corn. I was going for the heavier wood content for the carbon in that, though, just to see if something would kick off in there. But yeah, not bad. Should be in a little better container, the humidity dome. There we go. So, yeah, oh, and I got a braided avocado here. I got a triple avocado tree that came, so I braided that. See what becomes of that. And, oh yeah, my avocado that I put in this pot's doing good, starting to grow. And, oh, my big avocado tree that was from 2012, 5 years old, it's about 6.5 feet tall. It was doing really bad, not growing at all. So I stuck it in the ground the other day with 4 bags of topsoil and a bag of compost. And it's slightly raised a little bit, and I'm going to mulch that all in real good too. I'm sure that's going to help a lot. So, boy, that's a little bit of everything there. Cut.